All right, I'm here with Cam and Shane from 3 Inches of Blood. Thank you guys for coming in.
No problem.
Thank you for having us.
So you've gone through numerous lineup changes over the years, but you've managed to stay strong through, what, 4 albums so far? I was just wondering, what do you attribute that to?
Generally, when lineup changes occur, it's kind of like the band gets stronger, you know, on a bunch of different levels. I mean, musicianship-wise, you find someone who's right for the part, but it also going through trials and tribulations of having to replace someone. You know, maybe sometimes you'll have a 2-week window because you have a tour coming up. You know, the band, you know, unifies and gets stronger that way as well. But
you know, people have come and gone, mainly due to this, you know, just not being cut out for the life on the road, or just, you know, kind of getting tired of it. And, you know, it takes its toll emotionally and physically sometimes too. So usually that's the reason. You know, people just found out that, you know, their skin isn't as thick as they thought. But then you meet some people who are, you know, like-minded, and then you know, and are great players, and they really want to do it. So I think it's been pretty solid now for a while.
Interesting. So who's playing bass for you now?
We have a live guy. We've had a live guy, you know, for the past little while.
And do you play bass on the records?
No. Interestingly enough, on the last record, I did play a little bit of bass on a cover song, like a little bit of. But normally, no, I don't. Like,
Justin, our other guitar player, and I, we split up the bass, playing 50-50. Usually, it depends, you know, who's more comfortable with that particular song, like who wrote the song. We did recently. We have a 7-inch we just put out, where I ended up playing the bass on that.
Okay,
so it just depends.
That's Anthems for the Victorious, right?
Yeah, that's right.
When were those? There are 2 songs on that record. When were those recorded? During the Here Be Thy Doom sessions, or later?
No, they were both done actually just this past January.
Oh, just spur of the moment.
Yeah, we had some time. We're about to go on a tour, and you know, we wanted to do some new stuff. You know, get the creative juices flowing. So we had enough time and just decided to go in the studio and record them, and then have something out, you know, for the fall, or for the spring,
right,
which is now, and you know, have something for the fans to, you know, get their hands on at least before we actually get to the bulk of the, you know, writing the next record.
Your last couple of albums have been produced by Joey from Slipknot and Murder Dolls, and Jack and Dino from a lot of albums. Do you find it the final product wildly different based on who the producer is? Or is it normally just the songs speak for themselves?
I think it's a bit of both.
Yeah. I think so, because
each producer's got his own style.
For sure, like, you know, Jack and Dino is more of he's a great engineer, and he's more into getting solid performances. You know, he's a lot like a Steve Albini type guy.
Okay.
And then Joey is more really into the pre-production side of stuff, fine-tuning the songs, throwing ideas around with arrangements and stuff. Like Cam was saying, everyone has their own style of doing it, but, you know, by the time we get to do records, it's always like a year at least, or, you know, a couple of years in between. So that's a big factor why the albums can be wildly different as well, because so much time goes by, and, you know, you grow as a musician. And
right. Have your influences changed much, individually or as a band? Because Cam, I actually read a quote from you. It's on Wikipedia, so sorry if it's wrong. But you said none of the guys in the band are metal dudes. Is that true?
No, that I think you're paraphrasing something Matt Wood, our old drummer, said.
Oh, damn. Sorry.
That's okay. But yeah, he said something to that effect. I don't think he would necessarily say that now, but
he was a little jaded on the whole metal thing at the time.
Yeah, he was more into, you know, he wanting to focus on his, you know, being able to play with his other projects at the time, and that's kind of why he's just like, I'm gonna step away from this, and he was more into the, you know, kind of rock band he had going, but so I don't know. I mean, he plays in a metal band still, you know, so it's not like he's not a metal guy. Maybe he was trying to not identify with like the stereotypical metal guy, you know, denim and leather kind of metal dude.
Right.
There's just different kinds of metal guys, so maybe he wasn't really thinking it through.
Fair enough. What do you guys listen to? Mostly 70s metal, or?
Yeah, pretty much 70s, 80s. But yeah, like our influence, me personally, haven't really changed that much over the years. I like, you know, I'll discover new stuff that I like, but you know, influentially, then it's pretty much been the same for me. Old school metal and rock.
So you're on tour right now with Cancer Bats, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you just released a 7-inch like we talked about. What's next? Any future plans? Or are you thinking that far ahead yet?
When we get home, we've decided to take the summer off, which is actually a first for the band in maybe 6 or 7 years. But we're going to just start writing a new album, and we've decided not to give ourselves like a real timeline. You know, like we're not going to book a studio right away, because we want to give ourselves some time to just focus. You know, focus on writing a new album, and you know, do something we've never done before. And that's just, I'm repeating myself like 3 times now, but just give ourselves time to flesh songs out, which we haven't done for the last 2 albums. You know, it's always been a situation of, here's this window to do a record, because we're going to have to start touring at this time. I think it's just fair to ourselves, because of all the hard work we've done on the road. Let's do that same hard work concept, but you know, at home writing. So I'm really looking forward to it. We all are. Like, you know, it's sort of new territory for us, being able to have that kind of focus and live with some songs for a while, instead of me personally. You know, all musicians are never satisfied, but there's moments on every recorded thing I've done that I cringe, because it's just like, man, I wish we just spent a little more time on that, you know, maybe that particular part, or why is that part even in that song, and that kind of thing. So it'll be interesting to do that.
All right. Well, look forward to hear how it turns out. Thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shane.
ExploreMusic wears English Laundry apparel.